is episode 10 of So I've Been Told. I am back. I meant to get this episode out during the week last week, but it just didn't happen. Life is busy. But anyway, I talked to Mike Jacobs of the band On the Cinder. Hung out with him the week before last quite a bit, with the other dudes in the band as well, and they're awesome dudes and an awesome band, and we had a really good time hanging out. Unfortunately, we had a longer interview that I accidentally deleted, so we did a short one, and it's still cool. It's not what I want it to be, but I'm going to get those guys back on the show again, hopefully in the near future, and talk to the other guys as well. So I hope you enjoy my conversation with Mike, and you're going to hear some music by his old band, The Stakeouts, and of course On the Cinder. Enjoy.
Forward and dance for a while, or rock steady. All I need to know is that I'm the only one who will be there for you every long day, as long as you please. It's starting now. I wanna make you mine. I'll never let you go. Don't go tonight. Don't walk out that door, 'cause I want you to dance with me some more. Listen to me, it's time to head down 2 foot forward, dance for a while, rock steady. All I need to know is that I'm the only one who will be there for you every long day, as long as you please. And starting now, I wanna make you mine. I'll never let you go. Don't go tonight. Don't go out that door, 'cause I want you to dance with me some more. Don't go tonight. Don't walk out that door, 'cause I want you to dance with me some more. You know you're gonna be the one who makes or breaks us, takes us far from where we used to be. Well, I know that it may take some time for you to get used to me. Well, I don't mind as long as you take into consideration that you and I were meant to be. Oh baby, yeah. Don't go early tonight. Don't walk out that door, 'cause I want you to dance with me some more.
Alright, so I am here with Mike Jacobs. We are in the basement of the Vineyard Community Space, and we're going to talk about music and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks for having me, Adam.
Yeah. So, how did you first get into punk rock? And can you tell me a little bit about, your first bands?
Yeah, I grew up listening to bands like Green Day and Rancid, and I've just been a huge fan of music since I started playing guitar in 7th grade and done little projects here and there. I'm from Rochester, New York originally, and I went to school at the University of Buffalo. And in college, I got into starting a band called The Stakeouts.
Okay.
We played like a ska punk influence sort of thing. So we would do some Rochester shows and Buffalo shows. And over the last 4 years, I've been in a band called On the Cinder. And it's more of a straight-up melodic hardcore sort of punk rock band. And, yeah, that's what my life is all about these days.
Cool. Yeah, so how did the Stakeouts form?
My friend Pat Kniff, who I went to Catholic school with, he had tried to get a ska band together forever, like throughout high school. He was a trumpet player. And I started getting into bands like Real Big Fish and Less Than Jake, like my freshman year of college. And I knew Pat always wanted to do a band. And I shot him a message. I was like, hey, man, let's do a band or something.
Cool.
And he's like, yeah, let's do it. So he had some friends he had known from high school and college. And we got 3 horn players. I was friends with a guy I grew up learning guitar with, George Hart, who would be the bass player. He was up for it. It took us a little while to find our solid drummer, but eventually we found Tyler, who's also the drummer in On the Cinder. And we did that for a couple of years, but with a ska band, with 7 guys, it's really tough to keep everybody organized and
I can imagine.
on schedule, and it's tough to say. We sort of just grew apart, and I still love all those guys, but I stuck with Tyler. He was my roommate in Buffalo, and we were sort of involved in different projects, but when we got to know Jason, he's a guitar player on the Cinder. He was also kind of fiddling around in different groups, and we sort of just got together and we're like, let's really do something serious, and let's buckle down and do this band. Let's do a band.
How much time was in between the 2 bands?
Not long. It was probably a year. Jay was in a band called Fleet Street that would do little bar shows around Buffalo, and we would go see his band, and he would come see the Stakeouts sometimes, and he had fun, but he was really looking for something a little heavier, more serious, and he wanted to play a larger role in a band.
Okay. Now, you guys have done some touring and done some releases. Can you just tell me about your releases? And
Yeah. We did. Tyler and I had done a little bit of touring in the Stakeouts, and but just like week at a time, maybe 2 weeks sometimes. And we were like, we're young. Let's get this new band On the Cinder together with the intention of hitting the road pretty constantly. Like, while we're young, we can be brash and stupid about things. And we've just been touring on and off the last 4 years. The longest trip we did was 2 months last year, and we had done probably another month and a half later on in the year. And this spring we're actually doing close to 2.5 months. We're going out from April 13th to June 5th.
Okay.
And we put a lot of work into it. Jay and I have our little Google Calendar set up in our phones, so we just got all our dates planned out, and there's a lot more green than red on the calendar, which feels good.
Awesome. And when you guys put out a tour release or something like that, a little poster or something, I'll if you do that, I will make sure I share it from the podcast page.
Yeah, we're getting a promo picture done soon for that.
Cool.
And another week, pretty much all the dates will be booked. So
cool.
Yeah, we'll get that up.
And you guys are going to Pooza Fest. Is that correct?
Yes. This is our first year doing that. It's a huge punk rock festival in Montreal, and we just heard crazy stories and lots of fun to have up there. Less Than Jake is playing, Sick of It All, Suicide Machines, just Planet Smashers. Just tons of bands are playing it, and we'll probably play one date there, and we'll have passes the whole weekend.
Yeah.
We'll have our fun. And it's a pretty serious festival that we're really excited to be a part of.
Awesome. Yeah, and our friends Condition Oakland, they're on it as well. And
from your hometown, right?
Home area.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Strength and What Remains from Florida, they're a hardcore band that I'm friends with. They've played here at Vineyard Space. They're playing as well. So
awesome. Are they playing right before Pooza Fest here, or are they?
They've played here on tours before. I don't think they're coming through this way.
Okay.
I think they'll be a little bit further east. I don't know.
I'm putting like a whole list of bands. Like we have tons of friend bands that we're gonna go see, and I'll throw them on the list.
Yeah,
That'd
if
be
you get
cool
a chance to
see.
check them out, that'd be awesome. So yeah, tell me about what you guys have released and what you have upcoming as far as releases.
Yeah. I'll just say a little something
Okay.
about our production of the music. Jay, the guitar player, and we do split vocals and everything. He built a studio that we do everything out of. He records everything and then he mixes it, and then we'll send it to Watchman Studios in Buffalo.
Mhm.
Doug is a hell of a producer, and Jay's getting to be a really, really solid recording technician and or engineer. I'm not sure what they like to be called.
The technical term is.
Yeah, but and then Doug does his little touch on it, and then we have a record label based out of Pittsburgh called Between the Days.
Okay.
They're putting out our next full length, which will be out this spring. It's just getting wrapped up now, and then we'll be touring on that all spring. First, we're just gonna have CDs and digital downloads and stuff, but once the vinyl presses catch up and our order is taken care of, we'll have a nice 12-inch record.
Awesome. That'll be exciting.
My favorite thing about those, I mean, people love to talk about like the sound quality and the artwork on the cover. I just love the color of the records.
Yeah. And just having something physical like that that's different than a CD, it's pretty exciting.
It's kind of goes back to like when you'd get an old CD and you could open it up and you open the little pamphlet and you can read the lyrics and the thank yous, and it's sort of getting back to that really personal touch of music that I miss quite a bit.
Yeah. All right. Well, can you tell me a little bit about your experience playing Yardstock? Because I know that you played that a couple years ago. And
that was fun.
Got a lot of listeners there because I'm originally from there. So.
Well, we did a week and a half tour going up to that. We did a weekend that week, and then I think Yardstock was on that Saturday. We didn't really know the guys there, so they kind of live out in...
It's the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and we parked our car at the point... At that point, we were touring out of a Subaru, just hatchback, and there's nowhere to sleep, so I slept on the side of a hill outside on the road. The next day, a few of our friends came down and met us there, and everyone was super cool. We got into playing some games with the local guys, and we were definitely not prepared for that amount of like fun to have that day. Like, we like to imbibe and we like to get into, the party. So played at like 3:00. It was a hot day out, and we just we were ill prepared for what would happen, but we had a lot of fun still.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited. I got to go last year, and I'm going to go again this year. Hopefully going to do some live podcast stuff with some
fun.
friends there. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, well, I guess we'll touch on one more thing before we kind of wrap this second time up.
Take 2.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll find it, but till then.
Yeah, that would be awesome. But
it's been a good day with you, so
all right.
Don't worry about it. We'll do another one at some point.
Yeah, we'll do a part 2, and I'd love to talk to the other guys in your band as well.
With our band, I feel like the strongest thing about us is our chemistry together. Like we're kind of a triforce in a way. Like we all bring something different. Tyler, our drummer, he loves music and he loves playing drums. He's got a bigger heart than anyone I know. And Jason is one of the smartest and hardworking people I know. And then I fit in somewhere, and it just I love the band, and it's my life right now. So I want to just keep going as long as we can, doing bigger and better things every year.
Yeah, I mean there's not a lot of bands in this scene that we're a part of here in Rochester, Buffalo that last as long as your band has lasted. So it's there's something special there.
I think so, and I love both the Buffalo and Rochester scenes. I love the venues here, and the people that work them are very hardworking people. We're good buds with Tim Avery, and he always puts us on cool shows, and we just kind of shoot him a message, and he'll be like, "Okay, let me look."
Yeah,
and he takes care of us. And tonight we're playing Monty's Crown, which is a fun spot. Just, I like coming home. I like coming home and playing shows. And our band is based out of Buffalo, but Rochester is definitely our second home, and we just want to keep growing in each city at the same time.
Awesome. Well, where can people find On the Cinder on the internet?
You can find us on our Facebook page. No one else would ever name their band On the Cinder. / On the Cinder with Facebook. On the Cinder.bandcamp. You can get all of our music that's been released to date for free download. Then we're also on Spotify, so if you want to follow us there, you can put our tracks in your playlist. We're going to put our new album up there. The album that should be done this spring. And yeah, hopefully we'll do like a Rochester release show. Probably somewhere like small. It'd be cool to do it here even.
Send me a message. It would be great to finally make that happen because we've been talking about it for just something always happens that it doesn't work out. So
that's all right, man. Everyone's busy and everyone's just plugging along. So we'll make it work at some point.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for doing this, and we'll get some music on here too.
Sounds good. Thank you, Adam.
Awesome. Yep.
Shock the masses with the shameless tirade. Steal my basic target, not go unasked for. Cut the rhetoric, nobody's impressed. Self-indulgent libel shows right to the core. Enough! You've had your say and everywhere to hide. Crowds think for straws, but you won't show your face. Paint the portrait of a better world. The canvas of our world be seen by their hate. Nothing is sacred with no more secrets. We're all afraid. We're all afraid. We tell ourselves we are strong, but we're all afraid of everything. We're not gonna listen to another fucking word. No faceless warrior will fight in the field. Stop passive aggression thrown at the wall. If we're so righteous, then why won't we yield? The lights are on, nobody's home. The lights are on, nobody's home. What will it take for us to realize our faults? The lights are on, nobody's home. The lights are on, but nobody's fucking home. Nothing is sacred with no more secret. We're all afraid, I'm still afraid.